Welcome to my channel, everyone. This is your Mad King Paradox S, bringing you something different than what you're used to. I know I haven't put any videos up in a while for those of you who are actually watching me, so this is something new. If you haven't been able to tell by now, I went to the store today. What store do you ask? Guess. So, basically, I went there, and it dawned on me that people are just as dumb as I thought. For instance, I pull up to the parking lot, and usually there's never any spaces open near the front other than the handicap, which I can't park there because I don't know anyone who's handicapped anymore. Last guy who I had healed up, so he don't have it anymore. And so I usually just park in the closest spot I can. But today I saw a few open, and I'm like, yes! I'm close to the entrance now. But then I finally get to it, and people have left shopping carts, about 4 or 5 of them, right in the dead center of them. There was like 2 or 3 spaces, all of them with shopping carts right to the point where you couldn't get in them. Not off to the side or in the very back where you can and get in. No, right there to where you can get in, but you can't get all the way in. And so I had to go to my usual spot further back. Now, this normally isn't a problem, but seriously, for you people that leave your shopping carts out in the parking lot instead of in the spots right next to the oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, they were right next to the little station where you put the shopping carts. Not someplace off in the distance. No, it was right next to it. They were 2 feet away. Really? You're kidding me. Why don't you, instead of being a lazy ass, just leave it there for other people's inconvenience and just go the 2 feet, just go and put it in the space where the rest of them go, where normal people who have at least a % of a brain put theirs, so that you are not bothering anyone else trying to get close to the entrance. So that was the first thing. Second thing is, I get in there, and you know how some supermarkets have, for people who can't walk that well, they have the motorized carts? Yeah, well, some guy was in there, and he was trying to turn around. But the thing is, he wasn't in one of the aisles, he was in like off to the side of the store where they have just those little stands. Yeah, he was getting stuck there. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing on him. I'm bashing on the people standing there watching, who, instead of going over to him to help him out, there was a crowd of about 7 to 10 people, customers and employees, just standing there, watching this guy go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and turning a little bit, then back and forth, and finally getting out of this thing. But I'm standing there going, what the fuck? Why are you just standing there? Go help him. He was old. Is that how you entertain yourselves? You go to the supermarket and you watch old people get stuck in the little places like that? I can't remember the name of them right now, although I just said it like 10 seconds ago. But how sick are you? Wash, wait about 50 years. That will be you. And we will be standing there watching you trying to maneuver between stacks. I'll go there. I'll camp out and watch. Yeah, because you used to do it. Yeah. And then, if that wasn't bad enough, we get over to where we were there to get a few things, you know, not that much, but we needed a sandwich. That's all we needed was a sandwich for a family friend who wasn't doing so well. We just wanted a sandwich, one sandwich. And we get to where the sandwiches are, and only one of them is priced. You know, instead of having a little thing on the bottom that tells you the price of everything in that area, no, these are individually priced, but only one was. And so we wait like 2 or 3 minutes for one of the people to come up, and we were like, hey, are all of these priced? And he goes, I don't know, let's check. They grabs the sandwiches and flips all of them over to see what the price was. What? What? Do you know how stupid that made me feel? Just standing there looking at these going, well, this one's priced, but the rest of these don't have any indication on them. So I'm guessing they're all the same price. I guess. No. These were priced one thing, these were priced another thing, and these were priced something completely out of the ballpark. So he's just sitting there flipping them over. He was like, okay, these are priced that, these are priced that, la la la. I'm just sitting there trying to recuperate from what I had just witnessed, because that was the stupidest thing I'd ever seen at a supermarket. And now we're just going that we finally get that whole mess cleared up. But there's more, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. How can there be more? Oh, people are stupid indeed. I'm not going to get into detail about what we were getting because it's really not that important while we were there. But when we were there, I saw someone looking at a shelf, just staring like this. Just staring. And a guy came up, and a guy who works there, and he was like, can I help you? And it was a woman. She was like, oh yes, can you help me find something? I don't remember what it was exactly. I was a little bit out of earshot. I was just enough to hear the big parts, but not to get the details. She was like, yeah, can you help me find this? He looks at her like she's retarded, goes over to the other side of the aisle, grabs the item she's looking for, and hands it to her. Yes, I wish I was making this up, but I am not. Only one person had sense in this whole store, and that was when we were checking out. The checkout aisle we were in was overcrowded, so one of the guys who works there was like, oh, this lane's open, why don't you go over to this lane? And so we're going over to that lane, and like a crowd of like 5 or 6 people lunged forward into this aisle right before we got there. And so we were like, fuck, we're just gonna have to wait. And he was like, oh, okay, you just come out to the self-checkout and I'll help you out then. So one person helped us out, because that's the only time we needed help, really. And you know, he helped us out. You guys all straightened out, and we left. But I had never seen such stupidity in a store ever. I don't even know how to explain how I was thinking. And yes, that is hanging out of my mask. Some of you might know from my first video, which was about 3 people because that's as many views as it's gotten. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, look at my first video called Intro-S. And I got off topic. But And yes, it is hanging from its nose. And fuck, where was I at? And yeah, I was pretty much trying to kickstart my brain back on because I was overloaded with stupidity. It was an intelligence-free zone for some odd reason. So that's it. I I cannot speak for some odd reason. I'm still trying to recuperate. I'd just gotten home and had to tell you all this, and I'm like, why, what? So that's my story. Spread the word if you want. You have no obligation whatsoever. Uh, I'm going to shut my brain down so it can recuperate properly. Good night, everybody, or good morning, or whatever time of day it is where you're at. I don't know. That's it. Goodbye.